Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Here we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam's 6th canto, chapter 9, the appearance of the demon Vritrasura, text 49. Na Veda Kripana Shriya Atmana Gunavastudrik Tasya Tan Ichyata Yachit Yadi Tavida Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Tasya Tan Ichato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Tasya Tan Ichato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Yadi Sopi Tathavidaha
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Tasya Tan Ichato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Yadi Sopi Tathavidaha
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Yadi Sopi Tathavidha
Yadi Sopi Tathavida Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Yadi Sopi Tathavida Naveda Kripana Shreya
Naveda Kripana Shreya
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Atmano Gunavastudrik
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Tasya Tani Chato Yachet
Yadi Sopi Tathavida
Yadi Sopi Tathavida Not
Veda knows
Kripana
the miserly living entity
the miserly living entity
Shreya
Shreya
the ultimate necessity
ultimate necessity
Atmanaha
Atmanaha
the soul
Not the
the
soul
soul
Gunavastudrik
Gunavastudrik
who is attracted by the creation of the modes of material nature.
Who is
attracted by the creation of the modes of material nature.
Tasya him
Him
Tan things created by the material energy.
Things created by the material energy.
Ichyata desiring.
Desiring.
Yachet one bestows.
One bestows.
Yadi
If
sa api he also.
He also
Tathavida of the kind.
Of the kind.
A foolish Kripana who does not know his real self-interest.
A foolish Kripana does not know his self-interest.
Translation. Those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called misers, Kripanas. They do not know the ultimate necessity of the soul. Moreover, if one awards that which is desired by such fools, he must also be considered foolish. Further, there are two classes of men, namely the Kripana and the Brahmana. A Brahmana is one who knows Brahman, the absolute truth, and who thus knows his real interest. A Kripana, however, is one who has a material bodily concept of life, not knowing how to utilize his human or demigod life. A Kripana is attracted by things created by the material modes of nature. The Kripanas, who always desire material benefits, are foolish, whereas Brahmanas, who always desire spiritual benefits are intelligent. If a creeper, not knowing his self-interest, foolishly asks for something material, one who awards it to him is also foolish. Krishna, however, is not a foolish person. He is supremely intelligent. If someone comes to Krishna asking for material benefits, Krishna does not award him the material things he desires. Instead, the Lord gives him intelligence so that he will forget his material desires and become attached to the Lord's lotus feet. In such cases, although the Kripana offer prayers to Lord Krishna for material things, the Lord takes away whatever material possessions the Kripana has and gives him the sense to become a devotee. As stated by the Lord in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22:39, Ami Vigya E Murke Vishaya Kene Diva Svacharamrita Diya Vishaya Budaiva. Since I'm very intelligent, why should I give this fool material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. If one sincerely prays to God for material possessions in exchange for devotional service, the Lord, who is not foolish like such an unintelligent devotee, shows him special favor by taking away whatever material possessions he has and gradually giving him the intelligence to be satisfied only by rendering service to his lotus feet. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments in this regard that if a foolish child requests his mother to give him poison, the mother, being intelligent, will certainly not give him poison even though he requests it. The materialist does not know that to accept material possessions means to accept poison or the repetition of birth and death. An intelligent person, a Brahmana, aspires for liberation from material bondage. That is the real self-interest of a human being. Naveda kripana shreya atmano avastudrik tasyatan isyato yatsyat yadiso pitatha vidaha. Those who think material assets to be everything or to be the ultimate goal of life are called misers, kripanas. They do not know the ultimate necessity of the soul. Moreover, if one awards that which is desired by such fools, he must also be considered foolish. Om Magyana Timranda Shah Ginandana Salakya Chaksu Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Hangum Langaiti Grim Yat Kripa Taraham Bande Sri Guru Dina Tarinam Namo Om Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Sri Mata Bhaktivedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravam Prachayini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyata Desataine Vancha
Kalpatarubhyascha Paripasandhudaya Cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So here Lord Vishnu is instructing the demigods in actually what they should pray for. It's one of the next verses will say actually that we already have that when he said actually praising the prayers that he just offered. Wonderful prayers, very eloquent, very correct. And then he says that those who those who are pure do not desire anything in return for. We had a verse like that already. I was wondering what was it? Anyway, I mean, others. Anyway, it's the demigods are mixed devotees. They have desires in return for in exchange for praying to the Supreme Lord and serving the Supreme Lord in devotional service. They expect nice material facilities, and now they have this situation where their nice material facilities is threatened by the demon Ritasura, So they pray to Vishnu, please kill him, so we can continue living in our heavenly planets undisturbed. And it will happen. It will happen. It will not happen exactly as they expected. We will see that although Vishnu, he could just have went and immediately killed Vritrasura if he wanted, but he will give the demigods a roundabout way of killing Vritrasura. They have to do something. They actually have to. They'll be very instructed. They will have to. They are very attached to their body. You can see that. That material life means you're very attached to your body. You want to protect it by all means. So Vishnu, he will tell them, you go and ask Aditya for his body. Ask him to sacrifice his body, so he can. And from this body, from the bone, from the body, then Vishwakarma will construct a thunderbolt weapon which Indra will use to kill Vritrasura. So that's also, again instructed. They actually want, to preserve their own body at the expense of Daditya Muni's body, and they'll see that Daditya Muni, he will give his body. Here, have it. And of course, not be a loser at all. He's a completely pure devotee, self-realized soul. He's one of the most elevated souls in existence. So he can just, okay, if Vishnu wants my body, he can have it. And that's so that's his, and then must be very instructive for the demigods. Or I don't know, that's not exactly mentioned, but if we were in that situation, we were demigods like that, it would be a little embarrassing actually, okay, he just gave his body, so because we attach to our bodies, maybe we should not be so attached. And this is the instruction that Vishnu is constantly trying to convey to the demigods. Don't ask for anything in return. Simply serve me. Don't expect, or don't have all these material desires which you expect to be fulfilled in return for performing devotional service. It's simply you do not know your real self-interest, and the living soul cannot know its real self-interest like I can. Just serve me and just let it up to me. Let me control your life. Let me give you what I think is best. I'm very intelligent. I'm the most intelligent. So just and I'm not only the most intelligent. I'm also your well-wisher. I'm simply acting for your benefit. So just surrender completely to me and just let me just accept my guidance and my arrangements. It will be the best you can. All these desires are, they are short-term, and they are actually what are binding you to this material world. Instead, just so he's constantly, this is instruction that is this is kind of a red thread. Is that English? You say that in English? Red thread, is that just a Danish?
I think it's the Danish
What is the English
equivalent? Anglicization or what?
Yeah.
Reverse Anglicization.
What is the English? It's a theme that goes through this whole, this section of the Bhagavad. Because it's natural, demigods are mixed devotees. So here we have mixed devotees opposed to pure devotees. Here the mixed devotees, they are being called Kripanas, and the pure devotees are being called Brahmanas. We should understand that here the Kripanas does not refer to the gross materialists, those out there, the karmis, mudhas, but they also Kripanas. But here, we're actually talking about devotees here. Demigods are devotees. Sakham devotee is extremely elevated, probably more pure in terms of devotion also than most of us even, and still, but they are the Kripanas. So we have to understand that when this is here, Bhagavatam is speaking to us. It's not just speaking about everyone else, it's speaking about me. Bhagavatam is speaking to me, addressing me. Why are you such a Kripana? Why do you have all these material desires? Why is it that you are dreaming about and constantly trying to make sneaky arrangement, pretending to be pure, but actually, really you're just trying to arrange for your own comfort, facility, trying to arrange for your own glorification, prestige, and you want to be distinct, and this is just, you're just a complete Kripana. I mean, Bhagavatam is speaking to me, and that's the right mood actually. This is, that's a mood to read the Bhagavatam, because it's reality. This is it's also when Prabhupada, Prabhupada is talking about the Mudhas, the Karmis, the Mayavadis. Also, he's speaking about us. They've always had that realization at one point that they were wondering about it. He talks about these Mayavadis, and that was in the very beginning. Devotees thought, he's just talking about some he has a grudge against some kind of a, some sect in India, but of course, but why? Maybe he's just, he cannot really snap out of it. He's still somehow another. He hasn't really come to America, Prabhupada. Somehow another. He's still living in India, in Indian context. So I thought like that, but then later on dawned on, no, he's talking about us. We are the Mayavadis. We are the impersonalists. We are the voidists. Oh. And this is actually what it's. Bhagavatam is simply written to devotees. It's not written for non-devotees. Non-devotees will not read this. Why should the Bhagavatam discuss it? Although of course they need to hear it more than anyone else, but they'll not read the Bhagavatam. So why should No, it's actually addressed directly to us. So we can, because this is. Still the challenge, we have somewhat accepted devotional service in its gross form, and we're following the process and so on. The worst anathas probably have gone. At least we do not eat meat. We do not smoke cigarettes. We do not have loose sexual connections, and we do not gamble and like that. So that's and we have learned some proper behavior. Maybe we will be cultured more than we were before. We have put some good manners. We don't use swear words all the time when we speak. In that sense, it will become a little, maybe, hopefully, become a little, got rid of the gross anathas, and but then the next stage of purification is to get into all the subtle, the subtle anathas, and this is what is also big, here in Bhagavatam, addressing our subtle anathas, which are, in one sense, there's not much. They'll end up in the same thing. Subtle anathas, if they are allowed to grow unchecked, they'll just end up in the same gross sense enjoyment, because that's all there is in the material world. It looks like, Maya presents it as if there's such a great variety of, so many kinds of material enjoyment. But it comes down to it, in the end, when it, when all the, sophistication and like that is all, it comes down to some very gross bodily pleasures, basically. And But you know, our desires for gross pleasures, they take very many subtle forms. And Bhakti Saraswati would point out that sex desire, you know, it's when one controls it on the gross level, and it takes the shape of desire for fame, profit, distinction. It's the heightened there. I might think, you know, I have no sex desire. Of course, I don't have. It's obvious I don't have that illusion because But someone might think, especially it's a common thing if you just have come from the material world and you were enjoying, you know, all the gross sensual pleasures, and then you're so burned out and so fed up with the whole thing. Actually, no, you don't even feel attraction. Beautiful woman walks in, you know, like that, you know, you're not attracted. It's just, but that's not because one is pure. It's because one is has just been, you know, been enjoying so much. It's just hanging out, and you know, yeah. But it will, you know, it'll go some time, and then it'll come back again. And one will forget, you know, the intense misery and how miserable it is. And one thing maybe I could enjoy after all. But that stays also, maybe one is free from the gross, but then they'll take the shape of fame, profit, distinction in many ways. And actually there's so many ways it can, many subtle anarthas. They describe very vividly in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in a purport by Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is quoting Bhakti Saraswati, where about the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. Lord Chaitanya, he cleansed the Gundicha temple. That's a temple where at the Rathayatra festival, Lord Jagannath is driving from the Jagannath temple to the Gundicha temple, and then he stays there for 1 week, and then he goes back again. So before Lord Jagannath he goes there, then the Gundicha temple has to be cleaned nicely. And when Lord Chaitanya was here, he cleaned it himself personally. That was one of his, you know, his great pastimes. He went and he just, you know, became a regular cleaner. You know, he was a cleaning lady, he was a cleaning man, and all the devotees followed him and were cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And it's described, you know, in detail actually. They cleaned extremely well. First they went and they cleansed it once, sweeping real thoroughly and throwing out all the dirt. And after that they went in and they swept it once again. And this time they got into all the cracks and all the corners, and even would take straws and pick up from all the cracks they couldn't get out of it, you know, get out the dirt from wherever it was possible. And then after sweeping it twice real thoroughly, then with hundreds and thousands of buckets of water were thrown in, and then they would wash it, you know. Lord Chaitanya, he would also, you know, polish everywhere, the walls, the ceilings, and the sitting places, and he would use his own clothes for cleaning. And it's, you know, it's a whole chapter just about the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. And it's a very fantastic, blissful pastimes. Devotees, they are so ecstatic that there's only one word coming from their mouth, Krishna or Hari, which is the same word. Yes, and it's described that that word meant everything. They would, you know, they actually at that point realized that actually the holy name is everything. You just say Krishna, and you've spoken anything that can be spoken. All knowledge is contained in the word Krishna. And therefore, someone needed a bucket of water, he would say Krishna, and the other one would say, Krishna, here's a bucket of water. So the devotees forgot themselves in this cleansing. euphoria. And so it is described there, and then in the very end, most of the verses are without purport, but then there's a very long purport in one of the concluding verses, and where Prabhupada discusses actually how this similarly, just like in order to receive Lord Jagannath, we have to clean the temple first. So if we want Krishna to sit in our heart, similarly, we have to clean out the heart. The Lord will not sit in a place that is dirty. And Lord Chaitanya is cleaning the Gundicha temple twice, sweeping it twice, is very instructive, because first we got out all the gross stuff, and then, but then after, there's still not good. There's still many subtle impurities, and then he also cleansed those away, and then Prabhupada, it's actually again he's quoting Bhakti Saraswati, long paragraph about many of the subtle anarthas, subtle impurities which are there, and they can, they have to come out also. Krishna will not sit in our heart if they are there. Heart has to be completely pure. So all desires for fame, profit, distinction, all. I don't remember. Do you remember? One could make a whole seminar on, and every day take one anartha and discuss it. You could spend the whole year just discussing each anartha. There, I don't know, is it 50 different anarthas? Something like that, isn't it? You know the verse, the purport I'm talking about?
I read it, but I can't remember what it.
Yeah. So I can remember either, but fame, profit, distinction, they are there. But again, they subdivided into many other violence towards other living entities.
Duplicity must be there.
Absolutely.
Kutina.
Kutina. Duplicity, diplomacy, desire for. One is mentioned that one has an idea to earn wealth to use in Krishna's service, but the danger is then one becomes proud, one becomes a fault finder, one becomes violent towards other living entities. That danger is there when you with that. Although it looks like it's a noble desire, and it is actually, but it's a danger. And on and on he goes. There's so many highly, extremely instructive pretension. All these subtle anarthas, subtle impurities, we have to get rid of them. This is what, so verses like this, they are definitely addressing us. We have to always only have only focus on the real Shreya, the real ultimate goal. There's two words, Shreya and Preya, which are, this is just, everyone, you all know that, it's basics, but it's, it's always relevant to have these Preya, Shreya distinction. There are goals which are Preya, Priya, dear, immediately dear. It's something immediately pleasurable. And then there is Shreya, there's the ultimate good. And we should always go for the Shreya, the ultimate, and not for the immediate. And immediate can be, of course, like a child. They're very much attached to the Priya. It tastes good. I want it. That's all.